guys, welcome back to either the podcast or the vlog channel. We are going to chat goals today. Listen, I just posted up on my Instagram page, on my Build a Content Machine page. If you guys aren't following on there, it's all about branding and goal setting, how to build a business online, and just stuff that I'm super passionate about. So I talked about goals and I talked about 2020, and real talk, I would hate for 2020 to be a year to remember for you for any other reasons than it was freaking epic and just a year of growth. And here's the thing, and this is a real question that I asked on that picture, and I hope that you can be honest with yourself because it's the only way that you can grow. The goals that you set in January, are you where you wanted to be in terms of those goals right now? And if not, that's cool. That could just mean that you're a high achiever. It's all good. So grab a cocktail pre-workout. This totally looks like a Bloody Mary, and it is not. It is a fruity punch pre-workout. It is strong. It says good mood on it. Or a cup of coffee. I've moved on from coffee to pre-workout. Listen, where I am right now, it's a little bit too early for a rum punch or a glass of champagne, but by the time you are watching this, girl, you grab yourself that glass of champagne. So in January, I had hosted a super in-depth goal setting workshop. And we sat down, I think the video was like an hour, and we sat down together, and you can go watch it, it's still there. But if you were on, there was like thousands of people on live whenever that aired. And we went through all of the goals and like what you want to achieve for 2020. And then we had no idea what was coming, right? Like we would have only known. I feel like everybody would have traveled a lot more. But there is so much opportunity for growth right now. I'm telling you, there is so much potential. There are possibilities for a side hustle. There are possibilities to sit down and spend more time on yourself to grow. And I want to help you with that. So I have developed, which is working for me, which I only share stuff that works. I've developed a system that really has kind of set things into motion. And what you're going to need is definitely like markers and pens and pencils. And if you're my kind of people, chances are you have that on hand. But just, you don't need 10 million colors, just maybe 3 colors at least. And if that is black, blue, and red, and that's all you have on hand, then that's cool. But I go with yellow, pink, and blue, like pastels, and then I have them in markers too. So I have that, and then I have some Sharpie markers and some fine liners, and then the reason why I go with pink, you'll see, I have Post-it notes. Listen, you don't need all of this, but I want to share my system with you. So I have 3 colors of Post-it notes. Cool. And you need a beverage. I said it was optional, but you need something to like jazz you up, you know. Get your hair in a top knot and get it going. The other thing that I have over here is, and if you're on the podcast, you won't be able to see everything, but I'm going to do my best to use my words and express myself and explain everything so you can follow along if you're in the car or jogging or whatever. And if you guys are on the podcast, would you comment on my most recent Instagram post letting me know that you're on the podcast? Because I want to know who's listening on the podcast. So many of you guys just found out that I have a podcast. I love my podcast and I love the cover photo for the podcast. I love the vibes of it, but I always want to offer like a video form in case you guys are visual people and you want to see what I'm talking about. So it's kind of like one of those things where you can listen to the audiobook and read the book. I guess you could listen to the podcast and, you know, watch the video. So you also need some cardstock, like a big cardboard, which I'm going to go over with you guys. And it doesn't have to be huge like that. It can just be like a bunch of papers taped together. It's just something that you can have in front of you. I love like having a big old cardboard and kind of like mapping everything out on the floor. Notebook or paper helps if it's already done. Isn't this so freaking cute? And then a calendar, paper calendar, or on your phone, digital, on your computer, it doesn't matter. So here's what, let's go into this. So what we want to do is basically map out ultimately the second half of the year. So we have time to achieve stuff. And I don't want you to start this by being like, oh my God, the year is almost over. I don't know if I can achieve anything. You've got this, boo. So take a sip of your drink and let's jump into this. First things first, you've got to have some level of belief and some level of positivity. So if you're sitting down and listening to this and you're maybe like multitasking, if you're going to do this and like actually set goals, like Don't do it passively. Sit down and like map this out, have your stuff, set yourself up, and really be in like a mindset where you're like, okay, this is what's possible. And maybe throughout this video, the belief might grow. And I promise you by the end of this video, you're gonna be like, let's take on the freaking world. Let's do this. My favorite thing in the world is goal setting because and would you guys comment down below, or if you're on the podcast, let me know. Either on my stories, DM me, or comment on my Instagram post. But when you're setting goals, and when you go through this, and if this happens throughout this process, please tell me, because this happens to me all the time. When you get to the point where you start to get excited, but you're almost like half crying because you're like, this is happening, but I'm scared, but this is exciting, but oh my gosh. And you almost have this overwhelming emotion of like, I think I'm going to cry. That means you're doing it right. So that's my goal for you today. All right. So first things first, get out just like your pad of paper and your calendar and get your stuff in front of you. And what we're going to do, and this is super simple, but it's effective AF. So the way that I've always run my business, and just so you guys know, I'm not a YouTuber first. I know that a lot of people think that I am. If I was, I think I would have a video up a day. That's why in October, I almost die, because it's just a lot. It's not what I do full time. I am actually a coach full time. I help women in their health and fitness. And even more exciting, I help women in their health and fitness build a business. So what I'm doing with you right now is literally what I do for a living. That's why whenever I do these videos, people are like, oh my God, I love this. I'm like, it's because it's my passion. It's what I do. So my coaches get this from me every single week. So if any of my coaches are on, or even coaches from all over, I love you guys, but Team Uproar, special spot in my heart. And they have been through this in like a very quick format, just like a 5-minute live video, and I helped them map this out. So a couple of them might be on. So if you guys are on, you're on Team Uproar, hello, you guys know what we're going to do. But hopefully this we dive in deeper and you guys kind of have some epiphanies today. So I want you to ultimately think of 3 goals. So whenever I speak to my team, I go live for my team every single day, and we do something called the daily grind. One of my coaches bought me this. Isn't that so perfect? They know me well. So we do the daily grind. Oh, and if you're on the podcast, it's a Ray Dunn. See, that's the thing. On the podcast, like I have to use my words. It's a Ray Dunn daily grind mug podcast, humans. Hopefully that you guys have probably seen it on my stories. So I do the daily grind, and it's ultimately the 3 things that I'm focused on. And I always do 3 things. It's how I write out my to-do list. It's how I set my goals. So I kind of took that idea and expanded it for the rest of the year. So the way that I do it is basically kind of by quarter. So if you've ever read The 12-Week Year, one of my favorite books ever, whenever somebody asks me about time management, productivity, I tell them 12-Week Year. The 12-Week Year changed my world. So this is kind of based off of that. Now I take 3 goals and I think about where I want to be in 12 weeks. So what is 12 weeks from now? Let's Google it together. This is how prepared I am. All right. So 12 weeks from today. 12 weeks because it's going to be different from when you're listening to this potentially. So it will be October 7th. It's so weird to do that because you just think like, where will we be allowed to travel by October 7th? I don't know, but I will be achieving goals. So October 7th. So you've got your date, okay? And what you can do on your calendar, especially if you have a paper calendar, I just got my calendar from HomeSense, Home Goods, and you can go either put a sticker, if you like stickers, you can go put a sticker on that date, and that way we can kind of map out what's going to happen leading up to that specific date. But what I want you to think about is three big goals, and I would prefer if all the goals for you are in different categories of life. So either you have a business, a side hustle right now, you have income goals, you have fitness goals, you have health goals, you have maybe a hobby that you want to take up. Maybe you want to have a better relationship. Maybe it can literally, the sky is the limit. Maybe you do want to travel somewhere, but if the goal, and that's where I don't want you to think about this in the sense of any limiting beliefs. So girl, if you want to go to freaking Santorini, Greece, that can be on there. I don't want you to think about this in any sense of, limiting capacities of what's going on in the world. Like this is happening, potential, because whatever will be, will be. Like if you want to go to Greece, trust me, dude, you will end up going to Greece one day. So we've got you. So let's talk about this. I'll just tell you what I have in terms of categories. I have a business category. I have a social media category. So I have like my business and my goals with my business. And then I have a social media marketing category. And then I have an income category. So if you wanted to, you could have a health category, you could have an income category, and you could have like your side hustle income Did I already say it? Income, side hustle, health, social media marketing, relationship. I'm trying to think of like all different goals that you could have. You could have to travel somewhere. I feel like that could fall under income, but whatever it is to you that matters. What's something that you're like, I really, really, really want this. I want this to happen in the next 12 weeks. So if you guys are on live with me right now, just comment in the comments, like just spit stuff out, like whatever you want to achieve. Maybe you want to have, it needs to be tangible. So you need a number, which I'm going to share all the things with you guys. It's super transparent, but whatever. You guys will know about my whole freaking life, but share it in the comments, share your thoughts, and share what you want to achieve. So it could be something as, what do you want to have earned? What do you want your weekly income to be 12 weeks from now? I'll just share with you guys what I have. Again, it's super transparent, but whatever. I have this goal. A lot of people ask us, well, now that you've achieved the big goal of the house in Golden Oak, what's the next goal? Like, do you have a next goal? The next goal is to be able to work with the Disney designers to be able to design the house, which is another chunk of change. So we kind of, put our heads together, Andre and I, and figured out how much money that would probably be. And I have that. I literally wrote that number and I wrote for Wendy because she's our designer. And that's my goal because that's the vision I have. And I, as a Canadian, would much rather not have to manage buying furniture and figuring, like, there's so much pain associated with that. And it sounds like such a headache. I am very motivated by avoiding pain. So that's a tip for you guys. If people are either motivated with a goal by avoiding pain or gaining pleasure. Sometimes the avoiding pain is greater than the pleasure received. For me, the avoidance of the pain of trying to figure out how to maneuver, let's say I need a restoration hardware couch and then like a table from IKEA. Like, I don't live there, so I don't know how I would receive all those things, and that would be so complicated. But on the flip side, the pleasure of dealing with Disney to be able to design our house, like, that is the ultimate goal. So am I motivated by this goal? Heck yeah. So that's one of my goals. I have the income. So that's an income goal for me. It's not necessarily what I want to be making a week. It's not necessarily like a bonus I want to hit, but maybe that's something that you want, like a bonus you want to achieve or a certain amount that you want to be making weekly in your business or just in life, or something that you want to afford yourself, like a trip or a house or a bicycle for your kid. It can be literally anything. So that's your first goal. So I feel like everybody probably has an income goal. So what I do is I do that in yellow. You can do it in any color. You can do it in green since that has to do with money. So in my notebook on the bottom is where I have my income goal. And I basically will like write it out and square it off in yellow. So I have that written out, and we're going to get to that in a second. The first thing I want you guys to do is just really think about the 3 goals. The second one is marketing and social media. So chances are, if you're here, you're trying to build a business online. If you're not, it's cool. But if you have a goal of, your followership and you're trying to brand yourself and you're trying to grow your business, and again, like, this can be anything, but I'm just sharing what I have. So obviously a huge part of what I do is YouTube. I love YouTube. I love being on YouTube, and I've kind of found my passion for it. Like, personally, I much rather post a video than post a picture on Instagram. I love doing stories. I just love video. I feel like it's so much more real. And there's only so much of a story that you can tell from a photo on Instagram. So me personally, I love talking to you guys. I love this community. I love sharing on this channel as well as obviously on my main channel on YouTube. And it's harder than posting a picture on Instagram, but I freaking love it. So I have goals of following and depth and engagement and how many comments per post, like things that really are about depth, not just about likes and followership. But an overall goal is at the end of 12 weeks, so by October 7th, how many followers you would either have on Instagram or on Facebook, or maybe readers on your blog or followers on YouTube, like wherever that is for you. So write that out. So I'll just be transparent. I'll give you guys the number. I don't care. Let's have a sip. Are you guys drinking champagne? Oh my gosh, what are you guys drinking? I should have asked that at the beginning. What are you guys drinking right now? I need to know. Rum punch? Oh, I would love myself a good rum punch later today. It's not even noon yet here. Okay, so my goal for YouTube, obviously the ultimate goal, and if you guys are on, here, I'll share. I love flipping the camera. You guys get the behind the scenes. So just down there, I have my YouTube plaque, which whenever I received that, I was looking at my story highlights and like the memories from last year. And whenever I received that, it meant a lot. I didn't even know that it would mean that much. And it was like a milestone. So you get that when you hit 100,000. The next plaque is 1 million. I'm a little bit far away from that. So the goal for the next 12 weeks would be 500,000, which would take you guys, October 7th takes us into Angie's Not So Scary Halloween party. Oh my Lanta. And you know what? It's going to be extra special this year because there is no Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. I think people are going to just crave it that much more and crave that joy. So I'm freaking excited to do it. Like, this year, I'm getting emotional. See, I told you, if you're doing it right, you'll get emotional. But I just think it's so special this year because people, when you're thinking about your side hustle, when you're thinking about your social media, and I'm not just talking about me, but I'm getting emotional because it's like my own goals, but I'm getting emotional for you because you might be selling yourself short in terms of your social media or your business. People need you this year. Like, they really do. Whether your social media is an escape, which mine truly is. It's like, if you want to be a big kid for 15 minutes and just, make a fort or like make some cool cocktails or whatever, that's why I do what I do. And it's to bring people joy and really to provide an escape. But this year more than ever, that's going to be so welcomed and I think just so needed for so many people. So the goal for YouTube would be to hit 500,000 subscribers on my main channel and growing so that by the end of the year, headed into 2021, that can be closing in on 1 million, which is crazy. I know that's a lofty goal, and will it happen? I don't know. Will we come close? Yes. Will I lock it in? It will be a miracle. It'll take some hard work, but I'm going to share with you guys how I plan to do that. And then the third goal, so that I highlight in pink because YouTube and like social media for me is kind of like YouTube's like red. So I do pink. So I have like my pink markers and I just kind of square it off. So see, you can see here, I just write it out and then I square it off with the colors just so that it's visual and I get it. And again, there's a point to all of this. Then the third goal I do in blue, because Beachbody is blue. So that my business, I'm a Beachbody coach. So I do everything in blue. And that way I know that it's like my business stuff. So I have goals with what do I want to help my girls achieve, what they're doing, how many girls are we have this goal that we're going to have. Well, this is happening because the house is being built, but our retreat for our coaches is going to be at our Disney house. So I want to help as many girls hit that rank and do stuff in their business. And, a lot of them right now are leaving their full-time jobs, that's freaking special to me, man. Like that was the vision that I had set at the beginning of the year or the beginning of all of this crap happening. I'm totally giving you guys an in-depth view into the way that my head works. But my vision for them was, what if when your boss asks you to come back to work and when all of this is like settled down and it's starting to happen now that they're getting the question of, do you want to come back to work? My goal for them was, and I told them this, that you can say, no, thanks, I'm good. And that just happened to another girl yesterday. Bree, I love you. Brittany, another girl on my team, it happened to her about a month ago. She was like, I stood tall and I puffed out my chest and I said, no, thank you. And I was like, that's literally the vision. I have goosies. That's like the vision that I had for them. And it means the world to me because it's freedom. So for me, with the way that I'm at in my business and just what we've achieved, I've been doing this for 7 years. So I've been a coach for a long time. My goals aren't just about me anymore. I get way more jazzed about helping my coaches do stuff like that, like them hit ranks, them do the things. So it's no longer about like income or ranks on my end. It's literally how can I help them hit those goals way faster, like life goals. So that's what I have written down. Our team is like next level right now. So the goal for the year would be to hit number 1, which we're close. We're number 4 right now in the entire company. We've been top in Canada for like a bazillion years. And because I'm Canadian, we're considered a Canadian team, but company wide out of like 450,000 people, the goal would be to be number 1. So that is measured by how many of my coaches are doing well. It's not measured by what I'm doing. There's people that they can sell a ton on their own and they're nowhere near number 1. So I think that's special. Like that's why the business jazzes me and that's what I do full time and that's where I'm at all the time. I'm talking with them, FaceTiming with them. having calls with them, helping them on them with their goals, with their social media, and doing stuff like this one-on-one, and to be able to help them live a life of freedom. Like, that's why what I do on YouTube, I can reach a certain amount of people and I can help them from afar. And like I said, provide an escape and help them change their life. But just like I said, people need you. The business right now, I will say our business and our team is one of the only businesses, like I keep joking with my coaches, our business and Purell are some of the only businesses right now that are doing well. Like, our business is up 300%. Like, because it's at home fitness, it's always been something that people knew about, but now it's a reality that it's like, maybe that is a better solution. So it's sweet, but I just think more than anything, it's more about help, like the way that I see it in my responsibility and what my goals have to do with like just what's going on with, heading into the end of the year and the second half of the year is providing a safe zone for people that not only maybe they need to work out, but you know what people really need this year? A freaking community and people to talk to. And my goal is to create a safe zone for these girls in the fit gym. So I said I coach girls in their health and fitness. That's one area that I do, and I'm super proud of that. And our fit gym is like the greatest thing. Like, they talk about everything in there, but it's really it's not only a spot to just check in with your workout. It's a community. It's a family. Some of them hop on virtually to work out with each other live, and like, it's amazing. So they all press play on their workouts, but I just think more than ever they needed that, and it really is the solution that I think so many people craved and kind of found this year just by fact of what was going on, but it's changing their lives and I'm seeing it and it's freaking insane. But then on the flip side, my coaches are also getting fit, but they're like on another level of changing their life and they needed it. And I'm just like, I'm glad that that's the path that we chose to go down, because right now there's a lot of stuff moving forward. So this is basically my goal for you, is that you can have 3 categories of business, marketing, or health and income. And you can, switch these around to whatever goal juices you to the point where you're like, this is doing good for the world. I feel good about this. This will change my life. This will change other people's lives. I'm contributing. This is exciting. Like, I want you to have all those emotions. So if you have those emotions, let me know. Take a sip. All right. So under each category, what I want you to do, so now that you've kind of colored it, and this is where your calendar and your stickies are going to come in. Under each of the categories, so let's start with the income one. You're going to grab just a regular black pen and you're going to start listing what I call tactics. So any tactics that you could think of that could get you closer to that goal. Not necessarily just a to-do list, but just ideas and tactics that would help you in locking in that said goal. So let's say income. What can you do that could create a stream of income for you? And you guys can comment it down below. You guys can share in the live chat. You guys can DM me if you need help, but start and start writing down ideas. Things like posting on social media, things like sharing on your stories and getting to that goal of being able to swipe up and being able to share certain products and being maybe affiliated with something that you believe in, like pre-workout, that you believe in, that you can share. And so what are things that that you might even be involved in now? Like, maybe it is your side business that that you could get to that next level of income. So I have mine out here. Oh, I can't even tell you guys half these things because some of them are surprises. Oh my, literally, what can I tell you from this that would not... Okay, so there's bonuses that I can achieve in my business. So I have that. None of the social media stuff I can tell you guys. There's a lot of things that we're planning on launching in the fall for YouTube and for, what can I say? Products. I can't say anything, but all things. So these are all just ideas that we have that will definitely, I can't say any of this to you guys because I'll give it away. What are some ideas that you have of a product that you could launch, or a service or an affiliate that you could be a part of that would help you get to your income goal? Or maybe it's just a goal that you need to hit in your business and you know what that equals in your business. Yeah, I can't tell you guys any of these things. It's hilarious. Like, launch this. Oh, create this. Oh, share this. Launch this. There's nothing I can share on here with you guys. Oh, well, I can share some of it. I feel like you guys know anyways. I shared it on the last video, but okay, well, here we go. Andre's going to be like, well, that's how good she is at keeping secrets. Andre laughs at my video. He's like, you give away the farm on everything. I'm like, I know. We're working on merch. Yeah, here we go. We'll just share everything. We're working on merch. We're working on a book. Working on a planner. We're working on an academy. Now you know. Those are all the goals. So those are all the goals that we have to launch for. Don't ask me how we're going to fit all this in, but now you guys know. So just tactics, like what are things that maybe it's something as like a tactic is wake up at 4:30 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m., wake up 2 hours earlier than what you're normally doing now, go to bed later, chunk a time to be able to work on that goal that will help you earn that income, and just keep writing. And if it's helping you guys to share in the comments, do that, because I feel like brainstorming with each other will be the best thing. And I'm on live with Andre right now, and we'll type with you guys and give you guys some ideas too. So second goal, your social media marketing or whatever it is, but what are tactics for that? That's Carl. So I have all the ideas for the posts that I want to do. So I literally created like a crazy list of all the videos that I want to do. And I call them like, Andre laughs at me because I keep going, big ticket items. But I'm like, I need like big ticket items. Like I have like the big heavy hitters on YouTube and on Instagram that basically, what are your big ticket items? What are the items that you know that your audience wants to see? I ain't no fool. I know you guys love a good house tour. I know that you guys love a good decorate with me. I know that you guys love a good morning routine, a good early morning routine. So that's literally what I have written out. I'm like summer house tour, summer morning routine. And I started having a list of all the posts that I want to hit. This is where your calendar comes in, because then you can figure out when you're going to post and what. So I have Amazon haul. I have women's must-haves. I have training. Like I'm going to start searching on YouTube of like trainings that I can do. But I'm a big believer, you guys, and I shared this with my team last night and they laughed, but I was dead serious. My theme this year for myself is there is no book that will teach you how to do the damn work. Like I think that we are very, very big on teach me how to do all the things and I want to read all the books. Dude, go do it. Like just start the work. That will get you so much further. You'll be that much further behind if you're reading a book on how to do it instead of just freaking doing the work. Like I'm such a believer in that now. Gary Vee used to talk about that. I love Gary Vee. He used to talk about that years ago and be like, I don't really read books. I just do the work. And I remember thinking like, well, that's rude. I was like, don't you want to better your mind? And I'm not saying to not read and to not better yourself, but don't get stuck. And if you've done this, I'm calling you out. Don't get that stuck in that pigeonhole where you collect books and they just collect dust and you just feel better about having said book, but you don't actually implement anything. That's what I'm talking about. So implement the things. House tour, summer morning routine. This is hilarious. I laugh about this every time I say this out loud. Launch a blog, which has been a goal for 7+ years and it has never come to fruition, but we're going to do it. So just all different ideas. 3+ videos a week is the goal. I will do my best. Definitely daily videos in October, which will half kill me, but it's always the most rewarding thing ever. So all of the goals, like what are your goals for social media? You can have numbers too. Like what do you want to see in views on your videos? What do you want to see in likes on your posts? What do you want to see in likes on your comment or in the numbers of comments that you get? What do you want to see in, did I say views on your stories? That would be a good one. And how to get that up. And I'll give you guys a social media tip. Don't talk at your audience. Be engaged. You have people that care about what you're doing. Even if you have 10 followers, those 10 people care about what you're doing. If they comment on your post, respond with more than just a thumbs up or a heart. That is like the worst thing you could ever do. Your DMs, be in your DMs and responding to your comments and to your questions. And even if the person sends you a heart, respond back. So when we get a DM, like when I get a DM on my page, it is honestly answered to the best of my ability. I am knee deep in my DMs. Now, will I forever be able to do that? I don't know. But I try to answer every single comment on YouTube and I try to answer every single DM and every single comment on Instagram. Like I am knee deep in there on my main pages, at least. Like I am knee deep in my main pages. So that's a huge goal that I have. And skincare routine. I can check that off. I literally filmed my skincare routine yesterday and I posted that. And that was a video that I really wanted to get up. And one thing, can I just tell you guys, your business and your goals will go like up and down. It's going to be like a roller coaster. Like some days it's going to be really, really great. And then other days it's not going to be as great. Your goal is to stay the freaking course. So what is the tactics for your third goal? So your business goals. Take a sip. Okay. So I have just tactics to help my either customers get started, my coaches get started properly, to help them see results, to help them see success, but also to share the information that I'm trying to get out there. Like whatever information I'm trying to share with my audience to give them more details on the product or the service that I provide. So having, I think, content more than anything is the most important part of this. So again, brainstorm, share all the things in the comments. And then what we're going to do is once you've kind of listed this out. So basically what I have on here is I have my blue square here with like a list of stuff. I've done this like 20 times. This is like my new one that I just did today. So the blue one, so your business, and then your marketing with like your list of stuff, and then your income one or your health or whatever it is that you want to do. So once you've listed these out, this is what, now it's a good thing I shared because, oh my gosh, I'm sitting on my feet and my feet are falling asleep. Anybody else ever do that? Because I'm really bad at that. So on your big cardboard, once you've listed out your tactics and you've figured out the tactics that really, really matter to you, you're going to take your pink marker, your yellow marker, and your blue marker, and you're going to put your goals, and you're going to basically create like cloud bubble goals. So here I have my YouTube goals right here. So I have like the trainings that I want to do, and I have the videos that I want to do, and all of the tactics are around that one goal. And I put them all in pink. Like I put like a little pink bubble next to it. So the point in this is that cardboard is going to go either up on my wall, or I'm going to give you another idea. So the reason why this works, you guys, is because each of the tactics that become like the main tactics that you're like, yes, that's a needle moving tactic, goes on a sticky. So let's say for YouTube, okay? Pink is social media. So then I take my big Sharpie and I do this. This is literally what I do. I'm going to do this with you guys. So one of the tactics was the title of a video I want to film, because I know that that's going to reach more people. It's going to grow the audience. People want to see it. It'll do well. So a summer house tour. You can either put this on 2 different stickies or on 1. But here's what I would do. Is basically, you can also just do a marker, but I love a good sticky. And then I will do, so today we are the 15th. So let's say, and you would need a bigger calendar, but I'm going to show you guys what I do. So I personally, I would put this as a pink marker on here, but I'm going to have it on my calendar in pink. So I know that when I look at my calendar, I want to see an even mix of all 3 colors. And here's why. Very often, one thing falls to the wayside. And I'd be willing to bet it's probably your health or your side hustle that fall. At least that's what it is for me. Social media seems to be like we get consumed by it, but we're not doing the needle moving activities. I'm just sharing what I see and what happens with me. I'm not doing the needle moving activities. I'm consuming more than I create on social media. My health falls short. The income producing activities fall short, and my business falls short. So because social media is the more fun one to do, my calendar, not knowingly, ends up being a sea of pink. This visually, you now know that you have to keep it even. So each goal gets a little bit of love over the next 12 weeks, and you can call yourself out on your crap. Because if you're not touching the blue and the yellow, then you know that you're not doing needle moving activities for those 2 goals that are important to you. And that's how you get to the end of the year and you're like, that one goal didn't happen. This is how it can happen so that it stays even. So I want to show you guys what I have on my wall. I basically have this wooden, I'll flip the camera and I'll show you guys, but I want to explain it for the podcast. I have this wooden, basically clipboard. You could do it with a bulletin board. You could do it with a whiteboard. But what I do and why it's so perfect is I have 9 little clips on this thing, and I clip 3 pink, 3 blue, 3 yellow every single week. And I pick 3 tactics every single week that I aim to complete. And let's say for whatever reason, one doesn't happen, I keep it and I move it to the next week. But a majority of these do need to get completed so that they can start, I can keep moving forward on my goals. So what I do is in my planner, I do the same thing. So my planner's downstairs, but I grab my pink, my blue, and my yellow pen. And when I write out my daily to-do list, I make sure that I have an even amount of the 3. And I take from the tactics that are on these lists. So let's say one thing is to create a house tour video. Well, that day in pink, I'm going to write film house tour, create thumbnail, upload video. This is literally what my to-do list would look like. Did I say create thumbnail? Associated picture, like IG photo, because every time I load a video, I usually post an IG photo that has to do with it, letting people know, stories, etc. Like link everything that I talk about, and those would all be in pink. That's my to-do list for the day. But if it's all pink, then I know that I need to touch on maybe some of the blue. So for my business, which for me, that's very true because my business comes first, my coaches come first, and then YouTube comes second. So then I would have, let's say, one of my goals is to help my new coaches get started. So create a welcome video. Film welcome video, add welcome video to welcome email. Then we have this thing called the TEAM UPROAR University, which basically our new coaches get access to. So I want to revamp that and add more social media training. So film, IG training for team. So that's literally that's what your daily to-do. So that's where it stemmed from. Your daily to-do list comes from your goals. So you're not just sitting there being like, why am I not moving the needle on my actual goals? So I want to show you guys what this thing looks like that I'm talking about. This could be interesting. You guys are going to see my lights and everything. All right. So that little wooden situation with all of the Post-it notes is what I personally use, and it works super, super well. I don't know if I just zoomed myself completely out, but at least now you guys can get the whole picture. Take a sip. This is going to we're going to do goal setting drinking games. This would have been really fun if we did. You guys have rum right now, and some of you are lit up. I love it. I love it. So hopefully this helped you guys. Would you do me the biggest favor ever and take a picture of all of the goals that you have just created, all of the tactics, and please tell me if you feel like you have more clarity right now on your goals and more of a handle on what the rest of this year is going to look like for you. Comment down below, comment in the live chat on YouTube. If you listen to this on the podcast and you're mapping this out on the floor of your living room right now, take a picture of all of your goals, of your calendar, of your cardboard, of all of your stickies and your lists and all the things that you have, and tag me on your stories. I want to see it. And I promise you I will repost and send you a DM back and we can chat about your goals, because that is I just hope that you feel empowered right now. I hope that you got a little bit of mosh. I hope that you're excited for the rest of 2020. I truly do. I'm so freaking pumped for you guys. I love doing this. I love chatting goals. So if this was one that you liked, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you guys are subscribed, because I'm going to keep posting videos on here. This is 2 in 1 week, and we will keep the party going. But I love you guys. If you have not yet subscribed to the podcast, you guys can go do that and maybe re-listen to this on podcast form, while you're driving, as a good reminder. But just believe in yourself more than anything else. I just think that you can have all the to-do lists and all the tactics in the world, but if you believe that you can do it and you believe that 2020 is your year and can be an epic year and will be an epic year, then you got it locked in. It's happening, dude. It's happening. I love you guys, and I will see you later. Bye, dudes.
Let's go.